Hey, welcome everyone back to the channel. This go around is just going to be me and C4 explosives. We got a couple things. We got a couple things to get off our chest. So, welcome back, C4 explosives.
What's good, OG? How's everything?
Chilling, chilling. I'm working on this drawing, and there's been a lot of things that have been hitting us all at once, and it takes me back all the way back to when one of Trump's boys, what's his name? The scruffy looking one that got arrested for buying um, a yacht with people's money that was supposed to finish the wall. What's his name? Um, Steve, is it
Matt
Steve Bannon?
Bannon?
That's the one. Yeah. So Steve Bannon's out here acting a fool, and so is Trump. And one of the things that we're starting to see, like when folks are trying to call up or call out authoritarianism, is things that we're starting to see. And C4 had called me. I was like, "Yo, you see what happened with Jimmy Kimmel?" So why don't you let folks know what happened with Jimmy Kimmel?
Man, as usual, Trump cannot take a joke. Yeah, man, it's just hypocrisy, man. I just see, you know, he's starting to flex a little bit and think, he's got his hand in the FCC and Jimmy took a jab at him about how well he was paying attention to the Charlie Kirk situation and how much he actually really cared. And he was like, "Oh, this is great." And then he's like, "Oh, but check out this big, beautiful building that we're building, this ballroom that they wanted for 150 years." And
And it happened for like 2 seconds. My man mourned Charlie's death for like 2 seconds.
it's like a little cat, like attention span, like a kitten. Like, oh, wait, what's going on over there? I was like,
It's
man,
it's
I don't understand.
wild.
But Charlie did not like the whole Epstein situation, and he said if you ran on it, let's see it. And I don't, they didn't like
Mhm.
that. They did not like that. So I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm more of a realist, but from what I saw, I think there's a whole lot more to it than what we're seeing. And
And it always is. Like, and when there's gonna be some folks that are like, "Oh, you guys, everything is" no, 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 no. The same thing with Nixon, same thing with Kennedy, same thing with the Iran Contra scandal, same thing with this. It's always more to the story naturally because it's the government, they have more information and all the stuff, all the things,
yeah,
right? So it's not that it's a conspiracy theory or anything, but if you just look at the facts, and especially with what happened to Charlie, like there's just so many moving parts and so many powerful people that want to keep power. It's just that simple.
yeah,
Um, and so it's not out of the realm of possibility that something weird is happening. And for me, it's terrible that we have law enforcement agents that are co-signing to everything that Trump is saying. So we can't even get the real truth. And then people are like, well, Trump tells the truth and he's a notorious liar.
right. It,
So like, and now we know, and that, I've been saying this more and more often. It's like this is why we need to co-sign to what the Constitution says, because the Constitution, you can sit here and talk about the Constitution, and the Constitution doesn't care because it's just a list of rules.
hmm
It's not
yeah,
angry, it's
black
not
and white.
jealous, it's not it's not envious, it's not greedy.
hmm
So why not follow that instead of someone who got Jimmy Kimmel? First he got off, first he got taken down First
Colbert.
he got taken down Stephen Colbert,
Yep.
and then he got Jimmy Kimmel, and then he went out there and he said
Fallon
Fallon
and
and Seth
Seth
Meyers are
Meyers.
next.
Yeah, he's got a hit list. He's got his own man. There's a lot of hit lists that
Yeah.
these guys got going around.
You know who doesn't have a hit list? The
Stephen Colbert.
Constitution.
Oh
These
yeah.
nuts. Constitution doesn't have a hit list.
No, man. The Constitution is binding, right? Like it's law, and the biggest thing a bully hates is to be told what to do. The worst thing,
Mhm.
So when there's a lot of heat and smoke, like going on, and there's a lot of pressure. He's had a lot of pressure though, man. Since the first time he took an office, but he's gotten a lot of flack from all the way around both sides of the aisle about this whole Epstein thing. And then, what better thing to do for him for himself is than to distract people. So
Mhm.
let's talk about these ballrooms. Let's talk about Charlie Kirk. Let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Let's talk about who's next on the chopping block, and then you get your band of brothers. Steve Bannon, and you just did a video about the other guy, the little Doctor Evil looking dude. What was his name again?
Steve,
Stephen Miller,
see, yeah, sissy pants.
number two. Yeah, that guy's terrible. Yeah, little troll boy. Like, so there's all these guys that he has in his minion army, and you see JD Vance doing podcasts from the White House. Like, come on, man. But one face I have not seen
Hmm.
uh, is Dan Bonagino. Dan
Dan
Bonagino.
Bongino.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he's been laying low, man,
it's
and
true.
he was very critical about this stuff after he said, "Oh man, nothing. There's nothing here to see, folks." And then he went quiet.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. You see Cash Patel in front of Congress yesterday, was it?
I know he
Like,
only
that's
saw
where
half
we
of it.
are. That's where we are. We have become a nation of um disrespectful loudmouths,
Mm,
and everyone thinks that's the way to get things done instead of instead of educating yourself and coming up with good ideas and follow through, and then you can actually process information. So when someone is has their hands in your pockets as deep as this guy does, this guy Trump,
yep.
he's got his hands deep in your pockets, not just by taxes, but he's also selling the gym shoes, and he's selling the Bitcoin, and he's selling the this, and he's selling the Melania coin, and he's doing all these things, and then
Mhm.
he's getting he's getting all of these uh, lawyer offices, all these legal offices to pay him, and then
Yeah,
he's got all of these media companies paying him, and he's holding them hostage. He's holding their business decisions hostage. You can't move and do things under this guy without him getting paid.
yeah, yep.
He always needs to get paid. And that's what people want. That's what, like, I legit had someone say, "This is what we voted for." You voted to get ripped off? You voted for your dollar to buy you less?
I don't get it.
And you voted for this guy who is richer now than when he took office.
Yeah.
You guys can't buy a carton of eggs. Beef prices are outrageous right now from what I learned.
Mhm. Yeah, man.
And you
Salt and
guys like
peppers.
this? You like that someone keeps peeing in the hot tub?
Oh man, it's like come on, man. Like you okay. So if you have kids, right? You want
Mhm.
someone that is a principal that has principles, right?
Yeah,
If someone was doing some shady shit and being sketchy and caught up in a pedophile scheme and robbing this guy, doing dirty over here and all this, be like, I want a new principal for my school, or I'm taking my kids out.
that's it.
But but it's okay for him to run the country. That's cool to make all the decisions for everybody, right? I want I want
Yeah.
to make every decision for everyone right now, and he man, he is really doing a number this term. Only he's only been here since February, and like it's hard to
And
see on the daily basis.
everyone that said he has nothing to do with Project 2025, from what I understand, he is well on the way and he is following Project 2025 to the T.
On a fast track. On a fast track.
Expedited. And everyone was like, no, 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 no. If you were a dirty boy when you were younger, and we have videos where he's grabbing people by the pussy and all that stuff. He's admitting to it. And then he's in office, so now he has the power to make all this go away, and it's either make it all go away by breaking everything
Hmm.
or go to jail for the rest of your life. It's probably honestly, it's probably only gonna be 3, 4 weeks left. But this swollen bastard is out here convincing people that he's the way and all this stuff, and everyone thinks that he's like second coming of Jesus and all this stuff. And he's making shady business dealings. He's triggering people by putting up things like, if again going back to the principal thing, if your principal put out things on social media that this man has put out, everyone would be like, "Yo, we need to get this dude checked out."
There'd be a lot of people waiting to punch that guy in the face, and then some.
And then this guy, he's breaking everything. This is how I see it all playing out. Not even conspiracy theory. I just you see the pieces in place, right? He's been out here, he's been making deals with Saudi Arabia and Qatar and all these places. He's getting real estate out there. I'm not
Hmm.
convinced that he's not gonna have a Trump hotel in Gaza Strip. I'm not convinced that he's not gonna have that.
Right.
So, he's gonna just ruffle everything up, break everything all up, and then he's gonna be able to leave because 'cause he's got connections not here. So, he's going to try to take over the entire government the same way Putin did,
Hmm.
and if it doesn't work, he's gonna go to his hotel in Qatar or Saudi Arabia or Gaza or whatever.
Yeah. My thing is this,
But
like,
if he's gonna stay here, he needs to break it because otherwise he is going to jail.
yeah, because I don't get it, because like he idolizes all these dictators, right? And he wants to be like them,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
they don't like him. They hang out, they do their own thing by themselves, right? And they leave
Remember
things
this though. Mhm, mhm.
right. And then what happens on the flip side? He burns all the allies. Like he doesn't have any allies. The American allies aren't American allies. Well, they're not his allies, should I say? Because
Right.
they still understand that we're being taken over and held hostage, right? So
Mhm.
like when the allies leave and the dictators are gone and he's by himself in the rubble, he's not going to be able to go anywhere,
Yeah,
because then they're going to flex their power. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
they're going to be like, all right, well, then they're going to pressure Qatar and all these other places that he supposedly has power, and they're going to be like,
Mhm.
well, you know what? We don't want to really be associated with your kind.
Yeah. Well, and to bring history to your point, let's remember, Trump has always been trying to fit into the upper crust, all the people with all the money, right?
Yeah.
And nobody liked him, probably because of the company that he kept. See his relationship with Epstein.
Mm.
So he's always been trying to fit into the rich and the powerful, but no one has ever let him in. He tried to buy the Buffalo Bills. The NFL stopped that because they didn't want someone like a Trump to be in the NFL.
Mm,
So he went and he bought a team in the USFL. He went and got Herschel Walker, all the things. That's where that relationship came from.
right.
So he's got all of these dealings and he's making all these moves, but he's always been the outsider. Even rich people don't want this guy around.
It's
And
almost like a necessity, though.
for the rich people, no. He's a mosquito. He's a
Oh, yeah.
mosquito. He won't go away. And that's not that that's rich people saying that. Historically, rich people have been like, "No, this dude is not good. We don't want him around." So then he goes and he takes over. He convinces a bunch of people to vote for him. So he takes office for the second time, and now he's really making life miserable for all these rich people. Um, that's why he's harassing all the rich people in media. That's why he's harassing the NFL. That's why he's harassing as a matter of fact, I just got over the weekend, I watched, Conan O'Brien get the Mark Twain Prize
Mhm.
from the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
This dude is messing with people so much that he's taking away the prestigiousness that is an award coming from the Kennedy Center. And so just so people, if you're watching this video, the Kennedy Center says here, Conan O'Brien got the 26th recipient. He's the 26th recipient of the Mark Twain American Humor Award. Um, so I thought it was a description of what the Kennedy Center is, but basically the Kennedy Center is like, it's one of our staples in American culture.
Mm.
So not only is Trump firing people off or getting people fired off of TV because of something that they had said, but this man is trying to take over. Well, I think he appointed himself like the president or something, 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 something. He wants to take over the culture of America. That is one of the steps in authoritarianism.
Mhm.
That's one of the steps, taking over culture. He's the only one that's gonna be able to tell people what's funny. He's gonna be the only one that's gonna tell people what's true.
Yeah.
A liar, a thief, con man. And that's not my opinion. These are court cases.
Mhm.
Everything from Trump steaks to Trump water to Trump University to Trump sneakers to Trump
Yeah.
coin. This dude is he just needs to come in and ruin things. So much so that he wants to change the name of the Kennedy Center to the Melania Culture Center or something like that.
'Cause she's got culture. She's got so much culture. You see how she was dressed at,
She's barely American.
you see how she was dressed at the castle with she was dressed like, Liu Kang or, Kung Lao, like, she had her hat down, she had a black hat, like,
She
she was
was
like, you
dressed
couldn't
like she was sad.
she was crying on the inside, man, for sure. Well, this is the guy that gets the Nobel Peace Prize or is trying to get himself the Nobel Peace Prize, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because that's what he is. But, like, my thing here is this, man,
yes.
is like, he's doing all these things, and we
Mhm.
know they're terrible. And even the people that follow him know they're terrible. And we're on the other side fighting. But the guys
Yeah,
that are fighting are getting tired.
yeah.
This has been a long, long 6, 7 months. And we
It's
gotta
only
keep
been 7 months.
we got oh my god. And we gotta keep refueling though, man. And we gotta keep supporting each other because what's happening is there's a
Yeah,
A lot of people put in a lot of funds. You push all your chips in, and the next thing you know, you're sitting at the table 7 months later, a couple hours later in Vegas, and you're tapped out. And
Mhm.
and then you gotta start you know getting money from the house, and then the next thing you know, you're in the pocket, and like, or you're in
Yeah.
debt, and in debt, not only financially but like spiritually, like emotionally, and you feel like it was all for nothing. So we got to continue to keep pushing, like on the podcast, on social media, and keep encouraging people, man, like, don't give up, man, just because there might be a little
Bring
bit
that
of
up.
these are all little battles, but it's a long game, and we got to keep reminding ourselves it is a long game, and it sucks. And what's going on right now is it seems like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that movie with
Terrible movie.
was it Dictators? What was that movie with I want to say it was with Seth Rogen and
Oh, yeah, Dictator. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, man,
The one
like
where
come
they
on,
were yeah,
it just seems like a big giant satire. Like nah, this isn't happening. Like how does it how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
and to me, it's so impressive how how deep the hook, line, and sinker have gone down MAGA's throat. This is not what it's supposed to be like.
No, man. It it
It's not supposed to be a nation, uh, that resembles whatever nightmare this knucklehead has going on in his head.
remember it kind of kicked off with when Jeff Bezos turned his idea around, right? Like Jeff Bezos was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do." I think it was when he was running. Like, he he decided not to run. He didn't co-sign a. I think he didn't co-sign Trump in the beginning, and then all of a sudden he flipped the script, and then there was a
Oh, yeah.
there was a and then there was the front page, I think, of the Wall Street Journal or the Post or something. They flipped the script, and like, and then it's the domino started to fall, and like, all and the next thing you know, we're watching some
This nightmare.
authoritarian bullshit. Yeah,
And
man.
that's what's weird, and that's what's weird. The people well, actually, no, it wouldn't b it's not weird because the people in power, the rich people, are probably just chilling. They're fine, you know? Like, if I'm rich and this guy only respects rich people, then I'm good. Basically, what I was gonna say is it's not supposed to be like this, rich people, the technology companies and all these people with all the money. I was gonna say they have no use for Trump because, he's going to mess with their money eventually, but that's not necessarily they don't care. They have a lot of money, and I think it's if they stay clear of his gaze that they'll be fine. But at the end of the day, even if Trump's plan does go through, this is like the oligarchy. This is literally the rich people telling you what to do. And it's not it's heartbreaking. I just got done watching No More Kings by Schoolhouse Rock.
Okay.
Um and I did a reaction video to it. And watching the history even simplified like that, you look at what the people who came here fought for,
Mm,
and these morons are voting for exactly what people left Europe for.
yeah.
So you're undoing hundreds of years of progress, hundreds, for one guy to get rich. And it's unbearable for me to watch some of these folks that are championing the destruction of family, the overreach of the law
Mm,
just to kick people out because of how they look. So now, officially, this is official because I speak Spanish and I have a little bit of an accent and my skin is brown. They can stop me and they can detain me.
yep, yep.
And there's people out there that will gladly say, "Yep, that's what I voted for."
Yeah, down here they proposed what Marco Rubio wanted was to they can pull they can pull your passport and all that.
Yeah.
So like, like, but at the last minute, our kind representative decided to not put that in the bill. But not um but it's like, why do we have to run around on a swivel more than just in life in general, just to look out for strolling down the street? Like, oh man, I gotta make sure I got my passport card on me. I gotta make sure I have like 16 forms of identification. And even then,
Mhm.
can't order some tacos and say cilantro, and then they're gonna be like, they're all gonna be swarming on me saying, "Oh, we speak Spanish." Like, wait a minute,
Mhm.
like, yo, something's not right. It's not
Yeah.
right, man. It's there's
Yep.
a
And there's gonna be folks out there that are like, "Oh, just show them your ID." Do you have to show your ID every time you go out and buy a taco? Do you
right,
get stopped by cops? Do you get stopped by cops as much as we do? For those people that are like, if you get stopped by cops, all you have to do is keep your hands on the steering wheel. Oh, yeah. Tell Orlando Castillo that.
exactly,
You can't you can't expect a community that has been mistreated for centuries to want to co-sign to the bullshit that is the people who are running this government.
exactly. And even if they co-signed it, it's still null and void because they're still gonna get their asses beat. Like, we're still gonna be out here. Uh, it's not gonna work. You can check every single box that they put in front of you, and then there's gonna be mysteriously another box that
Mhm.
yeah that we didn't check, and we're gonna
Yep.
say, where'd that come from? Like, oh, you didn't see that? No, we just put that in there. Don't worry about it. You don't need to read that.
Mhm.
You're wrong for the way you look, the way who you are, the way you were brought up.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
we were brought up to be prideful people, and like we keep getting kicked down like by the people that are supposed to protect us
Yep.
continually, and we vote hopefully hoping that we don't get kicked down even further, and we got kicked down by the ankles, the knees, the hips. We're gonna get kicked in our heads, and you know what? I full heartedly believe that we will still stand up and kick the shit right back in their face.
I agree. Yeah, because come to find out, people have been saying that this last election, it's not necessarily that Trump won, but it's more that not everybody came out to vote. And so if that's the case, this should be a wake-up call. This should be a wake-up call. And I know that I talk a lot of trash about rich white folks and all this stuff. They're the ones that are in power. I know a lot of white folks, rich and poor,
Mhm.
who are on our team. They see this and they hate it. They hate it. And we see a lot of them out there. We see the Sergeant Rhodes out there. We see the
Mhm.
Cliff Cashes out there.
Yep.
We got folks on our side. We got Russell Cleveland. Even though I know one black person that lives in Montana, but that's not Russell's fault. But, like, these guys are out here and they're really trying to do the right thing, and they're trying to make the government work the way that it was supposed to, for the people, by the people.
Right. Let me ask you this. So we're trying to put the players in place to sit at the table, right? So
Mhm,
they can hopefully change the game.
mhm.
Who do you think that, because Trump has star power, right? And everybody he tries
Yeah,
to surround himself has star power. Who
mhm.
on our side that will combat for us that has enough star power to even cross that line? You know what I'm saying? Like you got guys like John Leguizamo, trying to really you know, push back and like, but it's
Short
almost not.
answer short answer, what's his name? The Daily Show, Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think that, and I'm a big Jon Stewart fan. If he ran for president, I'd be all in because he's very knowledgeable. He sees the world in a good light. And he's helped veterans quite a bit. A lot.
Yeah.
So he would be good. People keep saying Oprah, blah blah blah. I don't know, like the way things are set up. Um, it and I think it's ridiculous that we have to have talks that say dumb things like America's not ready for a woman president. Like, it's 2025. We're sending magic through the air. I can send you a picture through the air. It's not connected to the wall, nothing. We have magic happening all over the place.
Hmm.
We're flipping rockets, you know? We're doing all kinds of things, but we're not ready for a woman president. Okay, cool. So then after that, I don't think that it's going to be anyone. No meaningful change will happen until there is a um, inner city standout that c- like imagine an Obama but from the hood,
Right.
but speaks like an Obama. They need to be smart. I can't do dummies anymore. I
Right.
can't do I can't do let's have a wild ride. Like I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. But like to take the reins away from this knucklehead, it would have to be someone that's established, like a John, what you call it. But then to make true meaningful change, it would have to be someone, I don't know, fucking Maria that cooked dinners for her 5 siblings while she did her math homework.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I feel that.
No meaningful change is gonna happen until someone who has gone through the struggle, that understands the struggle. Because how is it that rich people are gonna tell poor people how to navigate boredom?
Poverty, yeah, for sure.
You've never been there, right?
100%.
I can
Yeah.
go to I can go visit Russell Cleveland in Montana, but I will be lost. I've never well, I have been there, but I've never been to his neighborhood. I've never been to, you know, I've never been to Montana in a meaningful way to where I know where the streets are.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I'm gonna go and tell Russell the who's who's and what's of
Like, we're gonna eat
he's
here,
gonna be like man, if you don't get your ass out of here.
like, "Why are you in the driver's seat? Go sit in the side." Yeah, I know where to go.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's my thing. My thing is that to like the quick stop, the patch on the boat is going to be someone like a John, but then for meaningful change, it needs to be someone who's successful out of the hood. Yeah. Do you have anyone you've been
I mean, like
thinking
John
about?
Stewart's good, man. John Stewart's really good. I mean, I've always tried to, I try to listen to everybody, right? But I
Mhm,
think when John was on Capitol Hill and he was talking about the veterans and the burn pits and like he was fighting in front of Congress and like really trying to champion for the veterans, like cool. And then he stepped away from the Daily Show, which I get. You get burnt
mhm,
out, but then he came back because he felt the calling. So
mhm.
I I'm hoping someone like I guess it's hard, man, because you're putting yourself out there, but he's always putting himself out there. But I think he has a lane, and now that one company is about to control 72% of the network television, we need somebody that has that
Explain
face.
that point. Explain that point, because I think I think people don't understand what's happening in the media, like, these media conglomerates keep buying each other, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
keep just absorbing more and more media companies. Explain what you just said, that's 78% or
yeah.
whatever.
So you got Sinclair Media, who is the one that is trying to make Jimmy Kimmel apologize and donate to Charlie Cook's fund and do all this other stuff, right? In order for them to reinstate his status on network television. Well, I had to do some digging, man. And Sinclair Media right now, they own 42% of the media at the moment. ABC, NBC, Fox, they own local stations, right?
Mm,
And
mhm,
right now they're in the process of trying to acquire Tribune Media or Tribune television affiliates, which would bring like WGN and all that stuff. So that would make them have about 70 to 72% of national media control, which is 178 television stations in 81 markets across the country. So when you have people that are watching television and watching the local news, they're fed a script, and Sinclair Media likes
mhm,
to give everybody the same script. There was a video
mhm.
posted. I saw. It had a bunch of local news stations, and verbatim, there was about at least 40 or 50 of them verbatim reading the same script.
And
Now,
if you watch John Oliver, he likes to do that. He'll break things down and he'll show, like, all of these media companies, all of these local networks, and they all say the same thing. Whether you're from Washington State or Washington, DC, they all have the same stories, they all have the same script.
yeah, and if you're supposed to be, you tune into your local news to find out what's going on locally. But when you're getting fed a national narrative, that's a blanket like I love to kiss Trump's ass. Then like how do you really know what's going on? And then that's where we're dipping into that authoritarianism, the Russian, North Korean controlled narratives. From
Yeah.
what's supposed to be trusted sources, and now it's not local versus national. It's just a national. We are all one, getting one source of
Mhm.
information from whether it's the quote unquote the left or the right, like, and it's dangerous. It is really, really dangerous.
And folks might wonder, like, what's the big deal? Well, it depends, right? What if there was a madman that took over the country and didn't want you to learn that maybe, just maybe, they were in this child sex trafficking ring?
Mm.
Let's just say society got to the point where they voted a possible sexual predator into office. And maybe, just maybe, let's just say, I know I'm laying it on thick right now, but let's just say that there was a full on cover up happening, because maybe, just maybe, there's rich, powerful people that got wrapped up in that whole, let's just say
Yeah,
maybe they're trafficking kids and stuff. Let's just say.
shits and giggles. Shits and giggles.
Yeah. Yeah. So rich and powerful people, maybe they just send this guy in, and maybe they don't want you to talk about it, because maybe, just maybe, we find out that maybe, just maybe, there's countries being bombed because maybe, just maybe, there's leverage there.
Mm,
Maybe, just maybe, there's another country that maybe, just maybe, let's just say they recorded a bunch of rich and powerful people. I'm just brainstorming right now. I'm trying to, I'm a script writer. So I'm just trying to unravel the story that's happening in my head. So if I were to write a script and it was a bunch of powerful people that got recorded chasing after little kids, then they didn't want you to know. But then the big reason why they didn't want you to know was because there's other people that have leverage over you and they're forcing you to bomb different countries.
mm, mm,
Um, but you didn't want to, like, it used to work before the internet. Let's just say if you wanted to keep information away from people, you just didn't have to say anything.
right,
But
right,
now
right.
in social media, everyone has a voice. So it's a
Mm,
lot harder to hide things, right?
yeah, yeah.
So in my script, maybe I'm trying to limit news that's coming out. Maybe the bad guy in my script is trying to manipulate information, but then, like, everyone has a voice, so now you have to shut everyone down. But you start with, I don't know, I would start with the reachables, like the old terrestrial radio, the all those things. I would imagine the bad guy in this script would maybe try to control that stuff. And then maybe because he doesn't want anyone to keep bringing it up, maybe then you take those guys off of TV.
Mm,
Huh. Then then you start pressuring internet companies. You know, if he was really bad, if he was a good written bad guy, he would do all those things. And then just to rub salt in the wound, to keep him happy so you can do your business dealings, maybe you give him a little plaque, or maybe you go and you visit him and you give him gifts. So
mm.
then, you know,
You're
I
in good
would
favor.
I would I would think, like, you know, think you can get a greedy person's attention by giving them gifts, and then they just slowly but surely erode public confidence in the government because now he has control over the messaging.
Mhm,
And then all of these different departments of the government would then, they're supposed to be independent. Why? Because checks and balances. That's how it was, to keep corruption down. Like
right.
the people who wrote the Constitution in this script would have enough foresight to say, with great power comes great responsibility, hashtag Spider-Man. But then
Right.
with that great responsibility, you have to make sure that no one gets corrupted because maybe, just maybe, they're greedy.
Mm.
Maybe, just maybe, they want buildings around the world and blah blah blah, blah, all the things. Hmm. That would be a crazy script.
That would be, man, I don't, I'd watch the movie, but at least I would be able to get home afterwards and go back to normal life, you know?
Yeah,
Are you familiar with Plato's The Myth of the Cave? Like you
I
got the
don't
parable
think
of the
so.
myth. So like there was an underground cave, right? There was
Hmm.
like four slaves that were shackled by the neck, and they were brought up like that way since they were babies, and they were forced to stare at this wall, right?
Hmm.
And on the wall there was these shadow puppets that would go by and depict certain images of what reality is supposed to be. And
Hmm.
because they were they were privy to this since they were babies, that's the only reality that they knew.
Hmm.
So one day, one of the slaves was unshackled by the neck and was able to stand. and he turned around and he realized that there was a fire behind them. And then there was these guys holding up little puppets and doing all these little dances and, creating a reality that they thought was, the only thing that existed.
Mhm.
So so then he sees these stairs and he walks up the stairs, opens the hatch, and he sees daylight for the first time. And he's blinded and he like, he can't see
Mhm.
because it's so much to absorb that he's never seen it before. It's just like a shock to the senses.
Yeah.
So then after seeing what he sees trees for whatever, animals and whatever. So then he goes back down the stairs and tries to tell the people that have been slaves staring at the wall that everything that they knew that existed was a lie. And they said,
Mhm.
"No, my friend, you're the liar."
Mhm.
S- So like there's this whole perception of, he paints these pictures and casts these shadows and says, "Hey, this is what's going on." But in reality, there's this whole people making this machine dance. And as soon
Mhm.
as you try to tell somebody that, hey, this is what's going on, instead of you blinding them by the light, they condemn you for, you know,
Showing the truth.
yeah, man. And this was written 1,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Mhm.
what's going on right now. Maybe just maybe
Maybe, just maybe.
Plato was onto something. Huh?
Yeah. Plato was a dude. He was hella cool. He was, if you didn't know, Plato was, Socrates' like, note taker. Socrates never read. This is more for people that are listening than you, but Socrates was a philosopher. He was like hella smart. He hated democracies because people are dumb. The general public is dumb. But then he had this guy who, Socrates never wrote anything down. He had this guy who wrote everything down for him, and that was Plato. So Plato like picked up the baton and just went on, he's smart as shit. Figured
Yeah.
all this stuff out, and he had a front row seat to the magnificence that was Socrates. So these are very, very intelligent, thoughtful, thought-provoking, researched people,
Hmm.
and it's unfortunate that they don't have fireworks coming out of their butthole to have people actually pay attention to what they say,
Exactly. Exactly.
because you can have exactly what's happening today is you can have a guy who is less than stellar, and this happens in our society so many times. So many times. It's not just a president. I've seen so many people fail upwards that are of the land of Caucasus. And it's just, for me, it's just frustrating to see someone that doesn't deserve any of the what wealth and power gives you. It's For me, it's heartbreaking to see someone take advantage of that situation the way that they are, and in such a negative way, and they have convinced so many uneducated people that this is the way. Your uneducated people are taking pride in being uneducated, and now they got this dog that they keep betting on, that speaks their language,
Yeah.
and
It's like too far. They've gone
he
so
was
far and
handed
they
he
can't let
was
it go.
literally he was literally handed everything. He was handed millions of dollars by his dad so he can go bankrupt 8 times, however many times he did. he was handed his wife. He was handed the presidency. He didn't work hard for anything. It's just and for people that don't have to not see it and to actually champion it and to actually continue to relish in the fact that this guy who has been handed everything is in office and he's doing everything that he's doing. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is wild to think.
You know what's crazy too is the people that orchestrated that. Like, okay, let's pick one thing that people of this demographic are turned off by, and let's run on that. Let's run on the fact that, uh, let's say trans people are in sports. Let's pick on, um, people in the gay people in the restrooms. Let's pick on something that's going to infuriate somebody, and we're going to run with that, and forget everything else. Forget
Oh, yeah.
all your principles, all your morals, all your ideals, all the things that you believe in. Let's forget all that,
Yeah.
and then we're
Yeah.
going to wrap a American flag around it and say, "Hey, I'm your guy,"
Yeah.
and then not do anything about it after that. Like, just get me in, coach. Just put me in, coach, and then I'm going to forget how to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it's like, come on.
And the wild thing going back to him, getting rid of Jimmy Kimmel and all these guys is he did it to them. He did it to brown people, and by did it, like, he has negatively impacted. His decisions have negatively impacted, black and brown people that live here,
Mhm,
negatively impacted the media,
mhm.
negatively impacted lawyers, because if you're a lawyer and you work for him, there's a lot of times they're losing their licenses.
Yep.
So so all of this stuff is happening, and you don't see anything wrong with it? You don't think that this guy has maybe just a little too much power? And you think that he's not gonna turn on you? Like, eventually, when he's done with the black folks, when he's done with the brown folks, he's coming after everybody. Uh, if you don't have any money, if you're homeless, he's gonna put you in a fucking camp. If
Or
you're if you're brown, you're gonna go in a camp or lethal injection. Who was it that said that silly
that dude
dumbass?
from Fox. That dude from Fox.
Oh, yeah, Brian Kilmeade or something? Yeah, that dude. That
Yeah.
that yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah, and you have to ask yourself, is your tribalism really that strong that you are people that don't have money, your prices are up, your taxes are not going down, you're struggling
Mhm.
to prove his point.
Yeah.
I It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. He's doing the same thing that Democrats do. And let's be I'm gonna be what the Jam podcast, they say this, "Imma keep it a bean."
Right.
You're paying for his foolishness.
Yeah.
You are. He's not. He's not missing out on money. All he does is rake in money. And you guys are struggling. You guys who continue to be on social media to, "I voted for this. I voted for that." Okay. Yeah.
They
Yeah, it
they
looks like you just gonna be hungry then.
they sacrificed everything for nobody,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
nobody, because that dude doesn't give a
Anyone,
shit.
anyone, anyone who is excited about what Trump is doing that doesn't look at their own day and see how things are starting, because it's going to get worse.
Mhm.
I'm about to do this. The very next video that I'm reacting to is it says how AI is causing a white collar, what's it say? A white collar bloodbath. And let's remember, I want to remind everyone, I'm not just anybody out here. I'm not. I have been successfully worked in advertising agencies in Chicago. I have successfully delivered on many projects in Hollywood. And I used to design software interfaces and stuff like that in Silicon Valley. Very white collar. And look at how AI is taking over and taking all that. So everyone who's out there filing, doing all those things, all those office jobs, all that stuff is leaving. A long time ago, when I was working in Chicago, I had a couple friends that were working with McDonald's on the interface for when you walk into a McDonald's, all you do is touch the little buttons and then your burger comes out. It's all mechanical. There
Mhm.
might be one or two people there to just in case something happens, but that's right around the corner. They're coming to take your jobs, and you guys are following a guy. There is video evidence of this man saying if Americans want to stay competitive in the global workforce, you have to take a pay cut. Or why don't you take a pay cut? I
Right?
don't see any of these bosses getting pay cuts,
No, hell no.
making record profits. It's only going to be worse. All of you guys on social media talking about, oh, voted for this, ha ha ha, kick these guys out, kick these guys out. Okay, okay, it's on
FAFO,
its
right?
way. So yeah, and this about I had a clip on TikTok and Instagram that said basically you're gonna find out, and everyone thought that I was threatening them. I wasn't. I don't physically threaten people. I just don't because, well, number one, you can get in trouble for doing that. Number two, I don't feel like I need to. I don't need to threaten you. I believe that America should be investing in America, making wonderful Americans, educated, motivated, they're really good, setting them up for success. And that's just not happening. That's my stance. I don't believe that taking away from Americans makes you an even better American. I think it makes you a trash person. That's just me. So that's my stance. I am American. I want to invest in America. I want to invest in other Americans. I don't think that me taking from you makes me a better American. None of that stuff. We need to educate our people so we can make this make this country a better place. So my threat isn't physical. My threat is if you think that they're going to stop at kicking out brown kids, you're wrong. Ask the black folks. Black folks will tell you when they're done with them, they're coming for us. I say when they're done with black folks, that's like you're not going to be able to kick black folks out of the country because they've been here for a minute. You can kick out brown kids because they've been here for a lot of them have been here for a lot less time.
True.
So you're going to kick those out. They're going to make it unbearable. So, other people are going to want to leave. They're trying to whitewash this whole place. They're fucking with history. They're trying to
Yeah.
tell you history through their eyes, which I mean, if you think about it, yeah. Europeans came and took over this land because no one was here, and da 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 da.
Oh, man, look what we found. All right.
Whoa, wow, that's crazy. It's not. It's not going to get any better for many people. It's
No.
not. There's companies. There's like what you call it, the Skydance. The guy Larry Ellison's son, I believe, owns it. He's trying to he's trying to buy another media company, but because his dad is Larry Ellison and he's super into Silicon Valley and all that stuff. He did what's the big database company? I can't think. I worked across the street from Oracle.
Mm,
The dad owns Oracle. The kid now owns a media company, is going to buy another media company. But the point that I'm trying to make is because he comes from technology, he's going to be leveraging technology in all of his companies.
right.
Take a look at what's happening in Hollywood right now. AI technology is ravaging Hollywood. If you're working, you're feeling blessed, but you know any day now is going to run out. If you're not working, it's only going to get worse. AI is right there. AI is right there.
Yeah.
So when I say things are going to get worse, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. That's exactly what I mean. You're going to find out because if you're dumb enough to get suckered by this dude, I don't think that you're smart enough to figure out how to survive without this dumb dumb telling you what he
Uh,
thinks.
I didn't even think about that. Like, oh man, what happens when Trump is gone? They're gonna be lost little puppies, waiting for them to
Uh,
be told what to do.
yeah. Or who to cancel and who to, what building to climb like a bunch of little monkeys.
Do they go back into hiding and slither back in their holes with their Confederate flags and their Trump banners and stuff? Or are they gonna
That
stay
part
prevalent?
that part would be interesting because yeah, like that's a very good question. I asked that question the other day, like where would they be hiding? Where would you hide? Once and I'm telling you, this isn't not just do we need Maria from the hood to run for office and win, but we also need to leverage technology. So then
Mm,
that way we know what money is going to where. You know what I mean? For me, this whole situation we could have done away with because the reason why a lot of people voted for Trump was because of money mismanagement and stuff like that.
right.
I don't see why we can't leverage uh technology to number 1, keep an eye on the money, see who's getting paid for what.
Hmm.
That way we don't have to have like little leaky spots where oh fuck there's like $5 million just disappeared over there. Oh wow, okay. So we just gonna ignore that then.
Right.
Leverage
Right.
technology.
It's
Leverage
got to be.
technology.
It's got to be a balance sheet. Like, where's the money go? Or is there a surplus? What are we paying too much for? There's expenses
Yeah.
that
Again, the IRS knows that you owe them 72 cents from 2016,
absolutely.
but they
And
don't
the wealth,
know that $50 million just disappeared over there.
it's too big, man. All right, so what we I'm excited what's coming to the forefront though for us, man. We got some people coming on the show.
Yeah. And that's one of the exciting things is like we don't Mike and I don't get on here just to bitch and complain. We're go-getters.
Yes, sir.
So next week we will be having a roundtable with a couple guys. We're gonna be working on that. We got people that are running for office, like legitimately running for office that are gonna come talk to us. So we can not just necessarily sit here and complain and point things. We're actually bringing people so we can have a conversation with them because
Yep.
that's how democracies work.
Yes.
Give me your idea. I'll present my idea. You shoot holes in it and tell me how it can be better. And then we make it better.
Boom.
That's how it works. It's a team sport. This country needs to be a team sport with a lot of representation from the different groups because
Yeah.
it's only obvious we let rich white people run the country and this is where we are.
Ta-da.
Rich white people have been looking out for rich white people. And then and I understand that it feels like minorities are after you and they're after your money and all that stuff. I understand how you might think it's easy or it I understand why why it's easy for media to convince you that we're after your money and after your women and all that stuff. I get it, but you've never met me.
Mhm.
You've never sat across a table from me. Chances are I don't want anything to do with your woman. And as far as money, I'm not after your money. I'm after my money.
Big difference.
Big difference. And when someone like me, I'm going to get a little cocky now, full of potential. When I constantly bump into roadblocks, challenges, some people don't even want me in the room. When you are taking money out of, or when you're taking food out of my mouth and my family's mouth because of some ignorant, ancient ass racist points of view, well, then we're going to have a talk. We're going to have to go and we're going to go find some of these politicians and we're going to have a conversation with them and we're going to say, how are you going to fix this?
Yeah.
Because this shit is broken. And the fact that people only pay attention to rich white people, you don't see that as a problem. We have one black president, and you guys want to tear the whole place down.
Like, oh man, they let him in.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. We gone.
Trying to take everything. That's it.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good with that, y'all. I'm good with that. We need to update the software in your brain. That's what education does. It updates that software. Why is it that people are homophobic until their son comes home with a boyfriend? Because they haven't been experienced. They've never had that experience. Why is everyone afraid of someone who doesn't feel comfortable in their own body and they want to adjust their own body to how they want to? I am not your doctor. That has nothing to do with me. When you show up, and I've worked with trans folks. For the most part, they are a joy because they have their own problems and they don't have time to listen to you bitch and complain about some dumb shit.
Whew, I feel that.
It's just that simple. And then when you meet those people and you are exposed to those people and you realize that they're really cool if you leave them the fuck alone,
100%.
you can't like everyone that I heard someone just today, as a matter of fact, they said, uh, they're out here, uh, uh, trying to do their whatever it is that they want, and they want to date whatever it is that they whoever they want, and all this stuff, and they're and not for anything, but isn't that what you're doing?
Right. But instead of a gender, it's age. Trying
Huh,
to date. whatever they want.
or something goofy, or something goofy.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how and this isn't it funny how you have some folks politically active, I guess, folks. Well, let's just say white folks don't. There's some white folks that don't like black folks, and then until the black folks say, "Oh, those trans people," and then all of a sudden they're on the same team.
Yeah.
So black folks, because there's trans folks, you guys forgot what it feels like to be left out. You forgot, and brown kids too. Brown kids too. Minority folks that pick on a group that's a little bit smaller than yours and a minority of a minority, and you guys want to pick on them, forgetting what the fuck has been happening for centuries.
Mm.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Where's the equality? And I'm not asking for equality of outcome. I don't want that. I want equality of opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, I don't even claim to think that I understand what's going on in a trans person's body. I don't. I'm too busy living my life. But I know
Definitely
what it
too busy.
feels like. I know what it feels like to get pushed down and to be left out and to be passed over and to be all those things. So why would I push all of that negativity onto someone?
For
And
sure.
if today they're gay and tomorrow they're not, or vice versa, if today they're not gay and tomorrow they're gay, that's your path. That's your story.
Hmm.
That has nothing to do with me. I'm not a doctor
But you could play one on authoritarian TV.
or in Congress.
Yeah, man. All right, my G. We got
Yeah.
going
And
on,
with
bro.
that, hey, real quick, I know we both have to go, but let people know where they can find you online.
Cefore Explosives on Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. There's links everywhere, man. Wherever
Boom.
Carlos is at, usually there.
Ding ding. That's it. And with that, y'all, we out.